Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my tier list for all Amphibia episodes. So by now you'll have also seen the video for my rankings for my top 10 season 3 episodes specifically. But this is going to be ranking all of the episodes based on current feelings. So the orders for season 1 and season 2 episodes probably won't be the same as in the tier list or in the top 10 videos I made, just based off the fact that I've seen these episodes many more times by now, and my opinions on them may have shifted and changed. So the season 3 episodes, though, will be in the same order, and as such, I'm going to put those on here first because I do still have my order list here. So we're just going to be putting those in first and then just going from there and comparing. So as you can see, we have our tiers here. We have perfection, amazing, great, good, meh, bad, terrible, and absolute trash. It's pretty self-explanatory, but the very top and very bottom, perfection and absolute trash, are only for the very best of the best and the very worst of the worst. Basically, the pinnacle of each side. So, like I said, we're going to do season 3 first, just so you can see the full order. So, we will start. These aren't labeled by episode, so I'm going to try to get this in the right order. They have their episode titles, so that should help. We're going to put them in order from 1 to 10 starting off. So as you saw in that video, my favorite episode of season 3 is Temple Frogs. And not because of that shot, by the way. So Temple Frogs is one of the episodes I would consider perfection. I don't think there's any way to improve on it. I think it's just that damn good. Number 2, though, was All In, which is near the back here. Here we are. All In. It's like, it felt so much like a finale that honestly the actual finale kind of was nowhere near as good, if we're being honest. Not that the actual finale, The Hardest Thing, was bad. It's on my top 10 as well still, but All In I would also put in perfection. After that, we have Olivia and Yunnan, which I think is like halfway through the season, somewhere in there. There it is. Olivia and Yunnan is amazing. It's not perfection. It could be a little better. I think it would have benefited from being a full-length episode rather than just a half one. And it could have delved more into their actual relationship, which I feel like their relationship is amazing, and I feel like it really should have been delved more into. But for what we got, it was still really damn good. Still my number 3 of the season. So after that, we had 2B, which was Turning Point, which is right here. That would also be amazing. You know how much I love Sasha, so of course that's going to be there. Episode 1, The New Normal, I would also say is amazing. It's just the perfect start to season 3. It does everything it needs to. It's not actually perfect, but you know what I mean. Then we have Fight at the Museum, and that's going to go into great. Followed by The Hardest Thing. Again, The Hardest Thing could have been better. There are just so many episodes that just left much more of an impact for me. Fight at the Museum, as an example, just was much more exciting and interesting. The Hardest Thing, it was a really good send-off to the series. But it was honestly not as good as it could have been, if I'm being at all honest. It should have been longer. It needed to be longer. Next we have The Beginning of the End, which should be right here. That's also great. And The Root of Evil. Also great. Commander Anne, Also great. See, all my top 10, this is the entire top 10, none of them were less than great. I'm fully satisfied with all of their placements. I think I'm completely, in my opinion, of course, correct as to where they place. Obviously, it's subjective, and I stand by all of that, but it's my opinion, and I'm correct in my opinion, just like everyone else is correct in theirs. But now we get into the rest of them that you didn't see in the top 10 list. So now you get to see where everything else from season 3 ranks as well. So after that, we start to go into the good. None of the others are great. We start to go into the good, and the next one we have is the Core and the King. The Core and the King needed to be longer. It very much needed to be longer. It was only a half episode. It was a single segment. It needed to be a lot longer. Look, the backstory's great, but it was way too compacted. Way too. It's like, I would definitely say it needed to be longer much more than even the Hardest Thing did. And I stand by that the Hardest Thing needed to be. But after that, where is it? If You Give a Frog a Cookie. Another really great episode, but it's just in the good because there could have been more to it, and I feel like it wasn't given, for as big of an episode as it felt like it was. Again, a lot of it just comes down to time, and I felt it wasn't given a lot of time to really breathe, and it kind of rushed through a lot of the excitement because of it. After that, we have Escape to Amphibia, the finale of the first half of season 3. There was way too much happening. Even though this was a double length, it's just like there was so much happening, and not all of the characters who returned needed to return because not all of them really did much. And in the end, it was just a little too chaotic, I feel, to be any higher. It's still good. I would even say really good, but it's just not on the level of great for me. After Escape to Amphibia, this should be somewhere down here. Yeah, Fight or Flight. The return of Domino 2 got me super emotional, but the episode in and of itself was just not that great. It was still good, but all in all, it just could have been better. And Sprig's distrust of Domino 2, it's just like, okay, we've done the entire thing about Sprig not trusting others before. It's like, this is a little old, let's be honest. They didn't have to do that again. Sprig could have just trusted that Anne trusted Domino 2 and just left it at that. The fact that he had so much distrust at first was just not necessary and felt very old. So then we have, after that, this is an earlier one in the season, Fixing Frobo. And honestly, it's like there's a lot of good stuff in this with Polly learning about mechanics and stuff. The adorable gay couple helping her out. The robotics couple, I can't remember their names right now. But all in all, it's just not as good as everything else. Then we have Ansterminator. Had a lot of good stuff for, Anne's parents finding out about everything, some good action and everything. But all in all, it just pales in comparison to a lot of the other, exciting episodes of the season. And honestly, after having watched it multiple times, it just doesn't live up to a lot of the others. But then we go into the... No, we're not in the Met episodes yet. Not quite yet. Because we still have Newts in Tights. I would say that's a good episode. Has a good lesson to it. And I guess you could say it reforms Tritonio. He was never really a bad guy, quote unquote, but he needed to, see the error of his ways nonetheless. Then we have Hometown Road. Very fun episode. Brought back some other characters who were not really bad guys per se, but it's fun seeing them get their redemption and everything nonetheless. And Mother of Olms kind of goes right into that category. A lot of people don't like this episode, I guess, but I actually still did. I thought it was still a good episode. Now we get into the mess stuff, though. And this first one actually might surprise you a little bit that it's in the meh category for me. If I can find it here. Ah, there it is. Sasha's Angels. Yeah, even though there's a lot of Sasha-centric stuff, it's like the stuff with the actual, like, angels, I guess you could call them, the crew, was honestly not that interesting. Toady losing his shit and going feral, I guess you could say, was a little funny, but on rewatches it just kind of got uninteresting and boring. And a lot of the other stuff that happened just really wasn't that cool. Like, the best stuff about it was actually Sasha, and especially her faith and trust in them. That was good. I liked that. But the rest of the episode, the actual, like, main content of it, just, just meh. Kind of fits with that. The next one is Hollywood Hot Pop. The really, another one where it's like there's one good thing about it, and the rest of it's just very meh to me. And the one good thing is the new character, the guy voiced by Wallace Shawn. I can't remember the character's name, but the human version of Hot Pop, you could say. He's great. He's a very nice old man. He's very sweet. You want to see him succeed. But everything else in the episode is just meh. It's extremely meh. It's not something that I'm ever excited to watch again. But I probably will. I probably would still watch it again. After that, we have the Three Armies. It's very bland and basic. It's your very typical, we're different, so we're arguing story. And it doesn't really do anything different or new with it. Even them coming together in the end and coming up with a plan is very basic. It just feels like they just needed to have some weird random conflict prior to the start of the battle. Just because you did have three initially enemy groups coming together, and it felt forced. But pretty much every time this kind of conflict is told, it feels forced, to be fair. So it was just very meh to me. It wasn't bad, it was just meh. And then after that, we have Sprig's Birthday. A lot of people really like this episode. I mean, there was some good humor in it, like with the clown balloon and everything, and a very good lesson and all. There was even a really precious moment at the end talking about like his mother and all. But the episode as a whole was just blah for me. Like, it really didn't do anything exciting or overly funny or really entertaining overall. It's just kind of meh. After that, we have Adventures in Cat Sitting. I love the ending to this with Mr. Boon Choi and what he says to the planters. The rest of the episode, though, is very meh. It's like the ending doesn't stop it from being, or doesn't keep it from being in this tier. It's just, it's very basic shit. It's very bland. There's some cuteness and all, but overall, it's like, it's not anything special. The ending bit is the only thing that really stands out, and honestly, it's like, it's just meh otherwise. Not that I dislike it. It's not bad. It's just meh. Same with Froggy Little Christmas. It's like, it's your very stereotypical Christmas special. It adds in the entire, killer robot thing, but it's like, eh. Rebecca Sugar's song was nice, but it just didn't do anything really special to me. It didn't really stand out in any way. Then we get to the weak ones of the season, the bad ones, I would say. And we start with Grimes' Pupil. Grimes' Pupil was just unnecessary. nothing was even ever done with it. It never went anywhere. It was just, it was kind of pointless. And in the end, it just wasn't entertaining either. It wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't that funny. It was definitely one of the weaker episodes. But then, even worse than that, is Mr. X. Even outside of my hatred of RuPaul, even ignoring that, the episode just wasn't that interesting. Like, for an episode where you have like a government agent hunting down Anne and the planters, it could have been so much more exciting and interesting, but it just wasn't. RuPaul is a fine actor, and he does his job well, but the character is just okay. And a lot of the jokes are just okay. The story is just not really that great. And it's in bad because of my hatred for RuPaul. If it wasn't for that, it'd be in meh. That's the highest it could go, but because I hate RuPaul so much, that does affect my feelings on the episode, admittedly. Because he's such a massive part of the episode, you can't just ignore him. You just can't. And so because I can't stand him to such a degree, it does sour my feelings towards the episode. After that, we get Thai feud. Another one that just didn't really seem like it had a point. Like, you have this Guy Fieri-like character who's a food truck operator who loves the Boon Choi's cooking so much he just wants to be a part of it, but he's also really fucking annoying and pushy. And there's also the fact that Sprig is, like, getting jealous of everything, and it's just... It feels completely needless. It doesn't feel like it adds anything, and it just wasn't that entertaining. On rewatches, I just found myself really not enjoying it. But then we get to Spryvie. I know, Connie's hating on Spryvie again. Not just the ship, but the episode too now. This episode is so fucking annoying. Like, they push it so hard. And it's like, yes, that's the joke. Even everybody else in the episode is getting annoyed with them. But they are so... Like, they literally cause problems. They almost fuck up the mission because of it. It's like they're making a joke out of it, but that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't, like, fix the problem. That doesn't make it... It is so fucking annoying. It is one of the most annoying episodes. Easily. It's so annoying. But there are two episodes worse. And you can already see what those are, but the order is Hop to Drop and The Worst Spider Sprig. They are both terrible. Neither of them are absolute trash, though. So there's that, at least. Hop to You Drop is so unenjoyable. I can't even fully explain what it is about it. Almost nothing about it is funny. Almost nothing about it is entertaining. It's just so unenjoyable, and I can't stand it. I, like, actively do not want to watch it again, which is why it's in terrible. Like, stuff in the bad, it's like, I'll grumble, but I'll probably watch them again. Or I'll at least be interested to see how people react to certain things in them. But it's like, Hop to You Drop, no. And Spider Sprig, you guys know I didn't like that episode. Like, but on rewatches and stuff, I really don't like it. I don't think the Spider-Man references work. I think it's extremely distracting. I think the quote-unquote villain, the Doc Ock guy, who's also the father to the Mary Jane-like character, which is really confusing as a choice. I think he's terrible as a villain. I think he's a terrible character. I just don't think he's good at all. There's a weird semi-romance kind of thing going on between Sprig and the girl, even though it's like nothing ever actually comes of it because for obvious reasons. But it's almost kind of played with the idea because, again, she's supposed to be the Mary Jane. So it's like that's always in your head, and it's always just really throwing you off. Not to mention the entire Spider Sprig stuff in the first place is dumb. It's just absolutely dumb. None of it's entertaining, and honestly, it just irritates me. I do not plan to watch that ever again. Okay, so now we are going to go back to the beginning and go with season one. Because I just wanted to start off with season three because one, it's freshest in my mind, and two, I already have a list. I still have a list here for this one. I don't have my list for the others because all of the rest of this will be based on just my current thoughts of the episodes. So, Anne or Beast, the very beginning of the series, introduces everything. It's very meh. It it's honestly just very meh. It's not that great. It's not that exciting. It's not that enjoyable. But I would say it's better than the Three Armies. I would put it right about there. Best Franz is also very meh. It's not that exciting. It doesn't do much of anything for me. Yeah. So I would probably put this one probably above Anne or Beast though. Kane Crazy probably in the right in the same area. Though I'd put this one actually just below the Three Armies. Flood, Sweat, and Tears. Let me make sure on something with that one real quick. I think that's the episode I'm thinking it is. Again, it doesn't actually say like episode names. Yeah, this is 2B. Okay, yep. I just wanted to make sure because the title doesn't and even the image used don't really give anything away about what this episode's about. Yeah. I wanted to make sure this was the right episode. I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure, and I was right. This is absolute trash. I still hate this episode. On multiple rewatches, like, I don't hate it as much as I used to, but I still hate it. It is one of the worst episodes. Remember, that's the episode, that's the, I guess, segment that made me drop Amphibia. I hated the message and idea behind it. And I still do. I still don't like the episode. It pisses me off. It actively pisses me off every time I watch it. So, yeah. Hop Luck is another meh one for me. But this one's a little better. I'd put this above Best Franz. Stakeout was the first episode of season one that I actually really enjoyed. Stakeout had some really good humor to it and some really fun imagery. Plus, it foreshadowed Anne's blue hair and transformation state. And I don't know if that was intentional right from the start, but if so, that's actually kind of amazing. But nonetheless, I still wouldn't put this above good. I would probably put this between Newts and Tights and Anne's Terminator. I still don't think it's any better than that. The Domino Effect is an episode that I do have a very big soft spot for. And having rewatched it and all multiple times, I still do. I think I would put it just under Fight or Flight, though. I think Fight or Flight is more satisfying overall. But they're pretty much back to back, which makes sense. Taking Charge. Taking Charge. That's the one with the electric bug dudes, right? Let me make sure here. Yeah, that's Suspicion Island, the Zapopedes having to recharge the phone and all. Yeah, that one on rewatches and stuff is just... I get the joke with a lot of it, but I would put this in meh. I would say this is probably right between Best Franz and Anne or Beast. And Theft Auto, also in meh, probably between Sasha's Angels and Hollywood Hop Pop. Breakout Star grosses me the fuck out. Like, I don't know if that was as apparent in my initial reaction, but on multiple re-reactions, oh my god, I hate it so much. I hate her slathering the butter over her face so fucking much. It is so actively gross to me that I would actually put it in terrible because I can't watch it. I can't watch it again. It's not like absolute trash, but it distracts me from literally everything else. And honestly, everything else is also very, very generic. Uh, I'm getting distracted by shiny things. I'm getting distracted by fame and popularity, and that's distracting me from what really matters. It's you've seen it a million times. It does nothing new with that, except the butter is so freaking gross, and I'm sorry, I can't. Um, I will put it between these two, I think. Because I think Hop to Drop is something I could stand watching more if I was forced to. But that's still the only way I would watch it again if I was forced to. Um, but Breakout Star, it's like, no. I would be cringing so bad. Sprig versus Hop Pop is, I would say that's a good one. Um, it's enjoyable on rewatches. Has a lot of good humor to it, but I would still put it probably at the bottom of good. Girl Time has a lot of good ideas to it. I just feel it isn't executed as well as it could be. Like even the idea of like the message, girls don't have to be prim and proper and prissy to be girls. Girls can sometimes be gross. Girls can enjoy that. Not all girls are the same, and that's a great message. I just feel like it could have been showcased better, It does have some good stuff in it, though, and I would put it in good. But I would definitely say the bottom of good. Dating season? This is the one where they try to force them to date, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, this is the one where they're trying to set them up together, and then at the end, Sprig ends up falling in love with her after all. You guys know I hate this episode. I hate that they completely turn their back on the message at the end with Sprig falling in love. And some people have tried to tell me, it's like, oh no, but this time it's Sprig choosing it. He's not being forced into it. It's coming natural. It's like, it doesn't feel natural in its execution at all. It feels like he only fell in love with her because he was forced into spending time with her as it was. And again, no matter what, it damages the moral that you shouldn't force two people who are just friends to be together. That guys and girls can be just friends. It's just, I hate this episode. In fact, absolute trash. I hate it that much. If you disagree, that's fine. It's all subjective, but I hate it that much. Anne versus Wild. Okay, so we first found out about the Calamity Box in this episode. And this is the one with the cannibal frogs and everything. This one was actually pretty fun. We also had Soggy Joe in it. I think this was his, he might have been shown before, but I think this was his real debut. And oh my gosh, that part at the end, when they're talking, and they're telling Soggy Joe about everything that happened, he's just standing there, this blank expression, just saying, oh, uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's wild. It's just, in just one kind of almost monotone voice, it is actually hilarious. I would actually put Anne vs. Wild pretty high compared to others in this season. Yeah, I would even put it above Fight or Flight, but not above Escape to Amphibia. Contagia Anne, no. I would say that's a bad one. It's just, it bothers me. I get the message it's going for and all, but it's just, it's not fun to watch. It's not enjoyable. I don't like the way they did it. It's still better than Grimes' Pupil, though. Jeez. Having trouble putting that up. Family Shrub. That's the one where they first discover the underground bunker and stuff. I actually really did enjoy that episode, especially on rewatches. It starts to really delve into a lot of secret stuff, and we kind of end up finding out that the bunker and all was all because of a Leaf. Like, she started that, and then her family afterwards and all, and it's like you find out all the history behind that. It's like it actually kind of makes this episode even better. So I think this is probably the best episode so far for season 1, and I would put it just above If You Give a Frog a Cookie. Lily Pad Thai. You guys know I love Lily Pad Thai. Like this one, like I raved about this episode, how much I love it. This is an amazing. It's not perfection, but it's an amazing. I would put it at the bottom of perfection. I think the others are still No, I'll put it above The New Normal. Yeah, because I really do like it, and on rewatches, it's still that good. It really is. Planter's Last Stand, just your typical flim-flam kind of episode, them tricking them with a snake oil kind of thing. It's not bad, it's just meh. It doesn't really do anything special with that. I would put it above Hop Luck, though. Yeah. Toad Tax was like an exciting episode. Really started to get into some big stuff, and Anne returning all the stuff that the toads were stealing was really great and showed how like she's connecting with the townsfolk. Yeah, this one's a good one for sure. I would put Toad Tax above Anne vs. Wild. Prison Break, on the other hand, that's not just good, that's great. Prison Break, again, you guys know I love Sasha. I love Sasha from the beginning, and this episode is kind of the reason. It just made me love Sasha right from the start, and I would put this probably just above The Hardest Thing. Grubhog Day, on the other hand, on rewatches, it's like there's a couple good jokes, but it's very meh otherwise. I would probably put Grubhog Day above Hollywood Hop Pop. That sounds about right. Hop Pop and Lock is really funny, but otherwise the plot's just kind of okay, so I would put it in good. The humor carries it, for sure. I would put it just above Sprig and Hop Pop. Civil Wart. Oh, that's the Twilight one. That's the one with the Twilight Team Edward versus Team Jacob joke. That's really funny. This is also in good just because the humor is amazing in it. In fact, I would even put that above Fight or Flight. It's that funny. Hop Popular. Let me look that one up real quick. I have a list here of all the episodes. I have that up, so just to make sure I can remember ones I don't. Oh, this is the mayor one. Yeah, this is where he's running for mayor. It's not good. It's just not. Even the twist at the end, it's like, oh, all the Valley gets to vote, which makes no sense. It's just not that good or enjoyable. I would put it above Contagia Ann, but it's no, not a fan. Croak and Punishment, also not a fan. Even ignoring the Spivey stuff, I just feel like the plot feels very meh to me. I'd put it at the bottom of meh. It's kind of on the border of meh and bad, but it's something I wouldn't be as opposed to watching again. Trip to the Archives irritates me. It's Sprig at his absolute worst. It is Sprig at his worst. It's terrible. It's honestly terrible. I would put it above Breakout Star just because Breakout Star bothers the shit out of me with that fucking butter. But yeah. Snow Day. Snow Day's very meh. I would put it above Croak and Punishment though. Cracking Mrs. Croker I actually do really enjoy. That would be a good though. And I would put Cracking Mrs. Croker probably even above Civil Wart. Would I put it above Anne vs. Wild? Yeah, I think I would actually. I do really enjoy this episode. Night at the Inn. Oh my god, you guys know I love Night at the Inn. You guys know I love my horror-themed episodes. The imagery in that, the fact that the horned bullfrogs are cannibals, which is actually true and everything in real life. Oh my god, I love it so much. I love this episode so much. This is amazing. This is easily an amazing for me. And I would put it above Lily Pad Thai even. Like, Lily Pad Thai is amazing for a lot of reasons, for its representation and whatnot, and it's just really damn good. But Night at the Inn, it's like, that's my shit. I do really like Wally and Ann. Wally and Ann is a good episode, and it's a high good. I've rewatched this again multiple times, and like all of these, and it's actually really good. I would put this above Escape to Amphibia. Yeah, honestly, I would. Family fishing trip. I don't recognize the image there. Oh yeah, or Sprig is getting jealous of Sylvia and all. Yeah, I get it because he wants to hang out with Hop Pop. I don't like those kind of episodes. I'm sorry, that's a bad one for me. This one would go just below Contagion. I don't like Sprig when he's acting like that. I really don't. Bizarre Bizarre was fun. That's a good one. I would put that probably between the two Domino episodes. Split them up. I think it's better than Domino Effects, but I still think I like Fight or Flight more. Cursed, oh my god, you guys, I love Maddie. You guys know I love Maddie. She it was great in this episode. The plot was great and everything. I really enjoyed it. I you know what? Yeah, I would put this in great. This is the first non-season 3 one to be in great. I would put it between Commander Ann and Root of Evil. Fiddle Me This had some good humor in it and whatnot. I would put that in good. I would put that above Fixing Frobo. The Big Bug Ball Game. Yeah. That one is very, very meh. I would probably put it right about here. Combat Camp was pretty good, though. That's the one where he first meets Tritonio and everything. I would put that one probably above Fight or Flight. Children of the Spore, though, one of my favorite episodes in the entire series, without question, perfection. Easily. It is just, it's perfect. It's so damn good. It is the perfect amount of creepy, the perfect amount of scary, and the story is good. Anne of the Year is, I'd say that's a good one. But I'd say it's probably lower good. I'd put it above Hop, Pop, and Lock. Reunion, fantastic. All of the season finales are fantastic. Reunion, I would probably put... I'd put Reunion in great, honestly. And I honestly, it's better than The Hardest Thing. The Hardest Thing is the weakest finale, if I'm being honest. I like it more than Prison Break, but do I like it more at Fight at the Museum? Honestly, yes. I think that's the top of great right now. So next we have Handy Ann, which, let me just make sure on what that episode is real quick. That's the start of season 2. Oh yeah, that's with Chuck. Yeah, they're getting Chuck to house sit, and Anne tries to take it all in herself. Yeah. That's not a good episode. It's not. It's not like terrible, but on rewatches, I would put it at the top of bad. Fort in the Road, however, is good. Fort in the Road, I would probably put pretty high in the good tier. Probably above Wally and Ann. The Ballad of Hopadiah Planter, that's a meh, but it's top of meh. It's very top of meh. Ann Hunter, the one with the hunting dance that Leaf invented. That's a good one, and it has a really good creature design. I love that creature design. The scorpion wolf thing or whatever it was. I really liked that. I would put that pretty damn high, actually. That would be above Wally and Ann for me, and even above Ford in the Road. Truck Stop Polly has some great humor to it. My sister loves this episode. She really loved this episode. For me, it's good, but it's not that high. I would put it above Stakeout, I think. No, I don't want to drag Stakeout. I want to drag Truck Stop Polly. Caravan Named Desire, that's very meh. One of my most hated characters in the series is in it. The little shit actor. Quarreler's Pass, where we first meet the Olms, also in meh. Honestly. Toadcatcher, the debut of General Yunnan. You know I love this one. I adore Yunnan. I love Sasha and Grimes, so it's like, yeah, this is amazing easily. I'll put it between Lily Pad Thai and the New Normal. Swamp and Sensibility, the one where we learn about the truth about Wally and everything. On rewatches, it just feels like it's way too easy and simple. Like, the resolution just kind of happens. It's way too easy, and because of that, I would put it in bad. It's one of the only, like, bad episodes of Season 2, though. Season 2 is really good, overall. I would put it above Handy Ann. Wax Museum is meh. I know a lot of people would disagree with me, and it's the top of meh, but it's just a Gravity Falls reference. That's really all it's for. It doesn't do anything else. It's just to have a Gravity Falls reference. And it's fun in that regard, but it's nothing really else. Marcy at the Gates made me cry. And on rewatches, it made me cry. And it introduced to us the most precious of beings, and one of my absolute favorite characters in the entirety of the series, Marcy. It also introduced to us, even if it's just at the end, with just mostly hearing him and very little seeing of him, Keith David as King Andrias, who, amazing performance throughout the series. Marcy at the Gates is perfection for me. That might be surprising to some people, but I love this episode that much. It is that good. But I'll put it at the bottom of perfection. Scavenger Hunt's a fun episode that reveals a lot about Anne's character and, you know, how she connects to the Calamity Box even. Scavenger Hunt it's a good episode. I'd put it, though, just above Fiddle Me This. The Planters check in. Okay, so between getting to truly meet Andrias in this episode, and then we also have just the precious being that is Bella. It's like, I love this episode so much. Plus, there's so much good humor. The Quicksilver moments when Sprig is hopped up on coffee and everything is actually fucking hilarious. This one, you know what? Fuck it. This is amazing to me. It's just that good every time I rewatch it. This will definitely be at the bottom of amazing, though. Lost in Utopia is a really good one. I would probably put that above Ann Hunter. That there's a lot of good humor in that. I love the spicy food jokes and everything. But yeah, it wouldn't be any higher than that. Sprig Gets Schooled. Don't like this episode at all. You guys know that. This one is, yeah, I would say it's terrible. I've rewatched it a couple times, and I hate it even more every time. And not just because Flula Borg is the voice of the professor, and I don't like Comfortable Doug in Centaur World. It's not that. I just don't like the episode. It's confusing. It tries to act like the school is suspicious, but then it's really not, and it just feels kind of pointless as well. I would put it at the top of terrible, though. It's not as bad as the others. Little Frog Town is meh. It's very meh, but it's better than Sasha's Angels, better than the Ballad of Hoppediah Planter. I like what they tried to do with the film noir kind of stuff, and there's a lot of good humor, but rewatching the episode, the stuff with the arcade and all outside of Anne The one scene where Anne threatens to eat the kids and is called out for it is really funny. Everything else with the arcade stuff and the cutting in line is boring. Everything else, outside of just the fact that it's a crime noir reference with Hop Pop's side of the story, is boring. And the fact that he kills a guy. That's actually pretty fun. But, yeah. Hopping Mall, top of perfection. I'm crying thinking about the episode. This episode makes me bawl every time. Not just cry, bawl. I lose it every single time I rewatch this. And even outside of the ending part that gets so fucking emotional in the best possible way, the rest of the episode is really fun and great. A lot of great humor, a lot of good jokes. It gives us buff mommy Newt, who is hot and hilarious and likable as hell. It's like, how can you not love this episode? How can this not be in your top tiers of this series? Like, seriously. Sleepover to End All Sleepovers was pretty good. Like, pretty damn good. I would say great. Because it had a lot of great setup for the future. As well as it's just really fun. Olivia is great in it, too. I would probably put this one just below Prison Break and above The Hardest Thing. Day at the Aquarium is a very emotional one and obviously sets up for the end scene of the final episode. I would put it in good, though. I would put it above Newts and Tights, even above Stakeout. And Truck Stop Polly. Above those ones, yeah. Night Drivers is really fun on rewatches. There's like some hints of horror elements to it. And I like how in the end the mysterious ghost guy was just trying to help them. I can't remember his name right now. But I would still put this probably just above Fight or Flight. Return to Wartwood. Chickalisk. I fucking love this. My sister loved this too. Like, she was just as into it as I was. This is amazing, easily. But where would I put it? Probably right between New Normal and Toadcatcher. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. So The Shut-In is the Halloween episode. And that was good. It had a lot of good humor to it. It had George Takei. That's always a good thing. But I would still put it below Toad Tax and above Cracking Mrs. Croker. Ivy on the Run had a good Karate Kid feel to it. But outside of that, like, and everything before that is honestly annoying. And it's like, it's not just because of Ivy. And it's not, I'm not just trying to say I hate Ivy or anything. The episode is annoying. It just is. It's annoying. It's so generic. It's like, Mom, you're stifling me. I want to go out and explore. It's like, we've seen that done a million times, and we've seen it done better. This is meh for me. It's not bad. It's just meh. And I would probably put it just below Grand Theft Auto and above Grubhog Day. After the Rain. After the Rain's a pretty big one. After the Rain, we find out a lot of important information. And we find out why Hop Pop was hiding things, why he hid the Calamity Box. And that part of it is really great. Like, if it was just that kind of stuff, it would be great. But there's also some stuff in between that's just kind of meh to me. But because of that blend, I would put it in good. I would put it just above Day at the Aquarium. The First Temple. The First Temple would be probably the top of good, above The Core and the King. New Wartwood is meh, but it's top of meh. Marcy in her like kind of Greatest Showman style outfit is really fucking adorable, actually. But a lot of the episode is just very meh. Friend or Frobo. Frobo's better in subsequent episodes. I would put Friend or Frobo about there. And just the stuff with Polly, it's stuff we've seen with Polly before. Not really a lot to it. Toad to Redemption, I really like though. I like how they actually made Mayor Toadstool a good character with that. I would put Toad to Redemption probably just below Bizarre Bizarre. Maddie and Marcy, I love Maddie. I love Marcy. They are great. But the problem is, Maddie's sisters are fucking annoying as hell. Oh my god, I hate them so much. They are so terrible. I know they're babies. They're like even younger than Polly. But oh my god, I hate them so much. They are so fucking annoying. Also, the episode tries to act like Maddie was in the wrong here when she was very much not. Her sisters were entirely in the wrong and she wasn't. Like, oh my god. That actually irritates me so much. This one is bad. And this is low bad. It's not quite terrible, but it's bad. Because of that. Maddie and Marcy, I love them. No, okay. I'm going to put it in meh, because it balances out. I love Maddie and Marcy. I hate the sisters. It fucking annoys me, but I like Maddie and Marcy enough to keep it right above Ivy on the Run. It would be a lot worse if Maddie and Marcy just weren't amazing and so good together. They have great chemistry as a team, with Maddie acting as Marcy's mentor in that kind of stuff. The second temple, not as good as the first temple, but it's up there too. I would put the second temple just above Lost in Utopia. Beryl's Warhammer, made better by The Corn the King when you find out who Beryl is and everything. I would put that in great. I would put Beryl's Warhammer probably just above The Hardest Thing. Bessie and Michelangelo is really fun. It's cute as hell, but it's not that great. It's meh. It's a very meh episode otherwise. Even the stuff with Anne getting a makeover, eh. The third temple, definitely my favorite temple episode. You guys know why. You know why. Come on. This is great. Third temple is great. And I would put it just above the beginning of the end. The dinner, this is one I just recently rewatched because my sister and I just got through season 2. So this one's even fresher on my mind, but I've rewatched it many times. But this one's a meh for me. It's like I get what they're going for, but it's hard to sit through a lot of the time. I would put this above the Ballad of Hoppediah Planter, if it'll let me. Yeah, right up there. Battle of the Bands I really do enjoy on rewatches. Grime is amazing in it with his harp and everything, his like 3-hour harp solo and all. It's a great one. I would put this above The Root of Evil. And then we have the final episode to rank, True Colors. So I said The Hardest Thing is the weakest of the 3 finales, and I stand by that. Reunion was the season 1 finale. So where does True Colors rank about with these? Is it between them? Is it above them? Or is it one of the best episodes in this fucking show? I can't deny that. As much as I would love to, I can't. It's perfection. It is. I would put it... I would probably still put it below Children of the Spore, though. Because, again, Children of Spore is just so much my thing that it's not funny. It's like, everything about it is just perfect for me. All In, like, again, All In, if that was a finale, if All In and The Hardest Thing were one episode and that was the finale, it would be my favorite episode of the series. But because All In is its own episode, it's just a little lower. But it definitely is. It's definitely better than True Colors overall. There's a lot better payoffs. Not that the payoffs in True Colors are bad. It's still perfection. But yeah. So there you have it. My ranking of every episode of Amphibia. Hopping Mall is my number 1. I'm not even surprised that it ended up being that way. Hopping Mall is that fucking good. It's perfection. It's absolute perfection. In fact, I could even make a tier just for it. Just for it. It's even that much better than Temple Frogs for me. It honestly is. It's that good. I have not only no qualms about it, I have no doubt in my mind that that's my favorite episode of the series. And by this, my least favorite episode is Flood, Sweat, and Tears. Again, the episode that actually made me drop this series initially. No surprise there that it's my least favorite episode. And while again, I've gotten less angry at it over rewatches and stuff, I still can't stand it. It still pisses me off so badly. I still hate it every time I rewatch it. And I'm just not going to rewatch it anymore. Like, I'm just not. Even if a reactor I love starts this series, I probably won't rewatch it with them. It's that bad for me. I would probably skip that video. And the only other one I might do that with is Dating Season. Everything else, even the terrible ones, I'd probably at least watch only for their reactions. But those two I probably would never watch again. Ever. I hate them that much. But yeah, so that is my overall list. I've seen a couple of your lists in the Discord already. There are lists for... I didn't mean to actually switch over to that and ignore my pot here. There's a couple of lists here I want to call out real quick just to say, like... Someone's being loud out there. Just to, like, see what their number ones and worst were. Poke Uno. Number one was Best Franz. Don't really get that one being number one, but... Also, Breakout Star is that high for you? Really? No, I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything. I'm just, like, I'm mostly joking around because of, you know, just my tastes and comparing them. Your tastes are perfectly valid. Your least favorite is Cracking Mrs. Croker. That's an interesting one. I really like that one. And we had one other person who posted theirs in here as well. Oh, no. Yeah, we had one other person, because that's my list. That was my character list. We had Sigma. Sigma has True Colors as number one. Completely fair. I think that's completely fair. Though Froggy Little Christmas is number two is a interesting choice. I would not have figured that. But yeah, True Colors is your number one. It looks like your least favorite is Mother of Ohms. Which, yeah, again, a lot of people apparently dislike that episode. I don't get it because I do like it. But either way, I mean, I can only share my opinion, you know? So, yeah. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would love to hear your thoughts. Sorry for the video being so long, but there were a lot of episodes to go through. So that all being said, thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.